Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Heritage Hip Hop. I got my man right here on Heritage Hip Hop, and for everybody who knows, we salute real hip hop. We're not somebody who likes to ride, pricks and stuff. So this episode of the Heritage Hip Hop interview is brought to you by heritagehiphop.com, where we bring your future favorite artists to you today, and we celebrate the entire hip hop culture. Because if you believe in God, you got to believe in hip hop, because God gave us hip hop. With that being said, we got one of God's messages in the culture on the line right now. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Notes82, hailing from Brooklyn, East New York.
And he's not just Notes82, he's award nominated. MC Notes82. You know what I mean?
I forgot I gotta do that, man. You correct me every time.
That's right, because that's a big deal,
Award nominated from Heritage Hip Hop, one of the best podcast and radio show and whatever you want to name it in media out there, man. So salute. Yes, definitely nominated for Watch the View, which is my album that's out. So I appreciate you guys for that. I really do.
Nah, we appreciate you for making the album, because we're living a time where not too many people are creating projects. Everybody's dropping singles and getting ready for the project, but you seem to do both. So let me ask you this question first. How has life changed since Watch the View has dropped and you've been promoting it?
It's changed a lot. For me, the project has done what I've been looking for the last year and a half that I've been in the scene, because I've only been in the scene for about 2 years. And it's given me more people actually seeing my pen work as being superior. So that's one of the things that I wanted. I just wanted people to understand that real hip hop is still around, and you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. You can still stay in your lane and stick to your guns and still be successful. So that's one of the biggest things for me.
Can you define real though? Because I hear a lot of people say real hip hop, but what is the definition of real to Notes82?
I think for me, just the word definition in real is just being yourself. Hip hop is expressing your feeling, expressing how you feel inside. And I think for me, a lot of people have lost their way with that. They want to express what everybody else is talking about instead of expressing what's from the soul. So for me, that's what real means, is expressing yourself and not having to compromise and have to please everybody. And you're just being you, and everybody just kind of gravitates to the realness.
So let's talk about the real talent that it takes to deliver such a stellar project. I call it classic. I mean, anybody knows me, I'm very hard on music because I really listen and I really dissect. Like there's very few perfect songs, but there's a lot of songs with good messages and few with perfect messages. How did your pen elevate from being the single creator to the project creator to give like a message in not only a song, but a complete project?
For me, I'm just gonna take it back from when I first started off. Somebody taught me this a long time ago. So when I first started off, I would just rap instead of just trying to create songs. So basically, that's what freestyle writing is called. And people think you come to the top of your head. No, freestyling is freestyling of writing. It's things that in your mind and you just write down freely. So people need to understand that. So for me, it started off as I was just rapping, and they was like, man, you can't just rap. That's not gonna do nothing for you. That's not gonna do nothing at all. So I think I think earlier in my stages of being an artist, I learned that I always wanted to create something different. So for me, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like freestyling. I don't like just giving away rhymes on beats. I like to, give a story on everything that I do, whether it be a single, whether it be a project. So for me, I'm just a person that prefers to do projects. You know what I mean? I like records. I like records that has a hook. I like records that got a verse, and I like records that give meaning. So I'm a project type of person. That's just how I was out the gate.
All right, so when I analyze some of your early rhymes that I've heard, so even the rhymes from Watch the View, you went from rhyming to flow patterning. How did you pattern your flow, and how did you dictate what song gets what pattern?
For me, it's just like I bring it back to this Karev. I think it's more or less about me wanting to tell a story and painting a picture. So for me, when I look at art, I love art. I love artists, and I like when an artist paints a picture. So you first have the canvas. The canvas is always going to be blank. So that is your setting right there. So in order for it, the setting to come out, you have to put some colors on it. You have to create some type of pattern. So for me, I just bring it to art. I like to paint pictures. So painting pictures for people, I want people to understand that I'm trying to take you on a journey when I do music. That's just all it is for me. It's simple. It's nothing crazy. It's just I like to take people on a journey, and I like to always reference it to painting. It takes time. It takes detail. You have to pay attention to the patterns that you're putting on the canvas. What colors go with this color? What's going to mix here? And something that's going to catch somebody's eye at the end of this masterpiece being made.
Now, see, that's the difference between Watch the View and Reflections. Because Reflections was more about you, but Watch the View was about the world through you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the mark of an MC. Like KRS-One said, a rapper can rap to you, but an MC can rap about your life to you. And Watch the View is one of those projects that not only can you reflect, but you can see yourself walk that journey.
Yes.
Why do you think it's hard for many MCs in today's hip hop to help people walk a journey with them instead of just giving them bars?
I'm gonna say upbringing. Sometimes you might, and it's not upbringing, but I'm gonna say the music that you listen to, that kind of constructs you as an artist when you're coming up. So if you're listening to a particular type of sound or a particular type of artist, I feel sometimes that kind of tendencies, though they're using those tendencies and putting it into their music. When I was taught that, be yourself. Don't listen to if you're going to put out a project, don't listen to the Jay-Z's, don't listen to the Nas, don't listen to the Kanye West, because you're going to come off as them, and you don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's I always wanted to be different. That's just me, man. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's to the point where artists, it has something to do with the music that you listen to. That's how I feel. You understand what I'm saying? So when I grew up, I listened to Jay-Z, I listened to Biggie, I listened to Nas, but I always said to myself, somebody stopped me at a point and saying, hey, your flow patterns are starting to sound like them. You got to do something different. So when I make a project, I don't listen to no music at all. It's all me. That's what I do.
That's the inner voice. That's also the spirit. Now, I've heard a wise rapper say, when I want to write a hip hop album or a hip hop record, I don't listen to hip hop at all. I listen to soul music. So the inner voice is basically the soul that you have.
Yes.
What language does your inner voice talk to the music, or does the music talk to your soul?
I believe the music talks to my soul. It talks to my soul. For me, my way of going about when I want to create something or create a project, especially with creating Watch the View, it never started off as, oh, I'm getting all my beats and I'm gonna write this. It always starts off as, I'm gonna write Fly High. I'm not gonna put a beat. I'm just gonna write what I gotta write. So that's how Watch the View happened. I wrote all my lyrics down, hook, chorus, whatever I needed to happen. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna construct it this way. Now it's time for me to pick my beat. So I'm different from every other artist. Sometimes I don't need the beat at all. And on Watch the View, I didn't need the beat at first. I wanted to write all my songs down, and then it was like, hey, okay, now I'm gonna go beat shopping and see what fits with what I got going on.
That's how Guru used to write for Gangstar. Guru would just write the beats, and Primo would fit the beats to his voice.
Yeah.
And I also heard that's how Nas used to write too. That's why it was a rumor or a legend that Nas has about 2 to 3 beats for every song. I don't know if you heard that before.
I've heard that. I've heard that a lot of times. With Nas, and I heard another thing too with Nas too. A lot of people give him this critique of picking bad beats. You understand what I'm saying? But I think Nas, if correct me if I'm wrong, I think he does that so you can pay attention to the words.
Yeah, as he said. Yeah.
I think he does, and he said he does that because he wants you to pay attention to the words. So sometimes it may not be the beat. The beat makes the song happen, but at the end of the day, I'm a type of person. I'm a listener to the actual words that you're saying. So when I'm listening to you, yes, I'm hearing the beat, but I hear more of the lyrics than I do the beat.
That's why hip hop is the hardest genre, because it's very wordy. And I think because of the dumbing down of society, especially the picking off of the quote unquote Negro child or the Negro mind, it's like people want you to be the most simplistic artist that can be looked over instead of being the celebrated intellectual that creates art. How do you separate your art from the norm in society to keep it as just that, art, and not just another song?
That's a good question. For me, I just think in music, you want to be that goes back to the ties of us talking about being real. I think for me, I always want, to me, I'm going to say I'm going to put them together. So art and then real life, because for me, my music is more reality music than it is just a facade and people just saying, hey, this is what I would do. I want to give you something that I'm saying. So for me, I think it just coincides together. That's how I feel. It coincides together for me.
So you live your art, basically.
Basically, yes.
So let's go back to the art of Watch the View, because like I told everybody, when I co-sign an album, y'all better listen, because it's not regular. Like that. Like Watch the View is not a regular track. And even, you know what made me what you know why you're underestimated? I'm gonna just be blunt. The reason why you're underestimated is because of the New York bias.
Yes. It's the truth.
People believe when it comes to New York has to be the toughest thing ever, and they only listen to them, F everybody else, and there's no growth out of New York. Where New York, even under the cover of the trap and drill scene, New York has always been hot with their real talent. It's just that people are not giving the air to the people who have the real talent. How do you make the game breathe and take the air that you're given?
For me, I think I've struggled prior to, like, 2 years now I've been good, but I've struggled with that for the last 10 years of my career. And for me, I deal with it as I'm a real person. I only can give you what I can give you. So I don't really, before I used to pay attention to, well, this person's getting credit and I feel like I'm better than them. But you know what I did? I just took it as, you know what, as motivation. And for me, either you like it or you don't. And if you don't, that's fine. I mean, and this is one of the reasons why I started doing music for 10 years down south, because the New York scene is too, I wouldn't say it's oversaturated, but it's too many people that don't pay homage to the people that are really kicking that real hip hop. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, I just keep it, I stay positive, man. You see me, man. I put songs out, I put projects out. I do what I need to do, man. And I do my diligence when it comes to hip hop. So I don't care about the, all that stuff. I just deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever people feel, if you like my music, fine. If you don't, I mean, that's still fine. You understand what I'm saying?
Everybody, we have a new guest on the call right now, connecting this audio. My man, are you there?
Yo,
Peace.
what's going on? How you doing?
Gambino.
Yeah, man, I went through hellfire and brimstone to get in here, but I'm here.
It's all good.
Ladies and gentlemen, watching Heritage Hip Hop. The gentleman that you just seen on your screen is an up-and-coming lyrical terrorist that not only destroys mics, but what he does is grabs your attention with his bar tone. Please introduce yourself to the people.
Scrilla Gambino, Harlem, New York, Sugar Hill, get the money. I'm here. What's happening?
Now,
What's happening?
I'm happy to get to meet you. Y'all dynamic on the microphone is very interesting. We're gonna have to define the boroughs through each MC. So everybody on Heritage Hip Hop, Notes82 is from Brooklyn. He's the skyline when it comes to the overall feel of the city. Scrilla Gambino is the street of the city, though, because he holds the story and he also tells the legend of Harlem. Please tell me, what is Harlem and how do you define it?
Oh man, I mean Harlem isn't just a place; it's a culture. You know what I'm saying? Like it's an aura. You can tell by the way that the person walk. You can tell by the way that they talk. You know what I'm saying? It's a vibe. But my side of town, it's a whole different demographic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's exactly, it's like the sweet spot for Harlem. You wanted drugs, you come to Harlem. Like everybody refers to my side. It's the sweet spot. That's what they call it. Sugar Hill. So
And
I'm just here to,
Notes.
what others before have,
All right, and I'm gonna take this to Notes.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta play. I gotta play this game with y'all over the over who's. I gotta play the game with y'all over whose borough means what and how. And I want to talk to y'all about y'all boroughs so y'all could definitely paint the picture for the people who may not know.
Okay.
We always heard Brooklyn keeps on taking it. What does that mean for somebody from Brooklyn before we go to my man from Harlem? What does that mean?
I just feel like I think for me being a Brooklyn cat, that saying is more or less about everybody that actually comes out of Brooklyn. When I grew up, when I was coming up,
Okay,
they were winning. We were winning. And I just feel like I'm a person. I don't play the borough game, but as far as Brooklyn, that's what that saying means. That means that we had a lot of people that came out of Brooklyn and they survived it. Busta Rhymes, Jay-Z, Biggie Smalls. It's a lot of people that came out of AZ. It's a lot of people that came out of Brooklyn. And there's still people that's coming out of Brooklyn. There's still people that's actually winning. So that's what that saying means, basically.
Okay. Skrilla, I need you to. All right, he's unmuted. All right. So my man Skrilla, I'm gonna ask you this. Everybody always gives Brooklyn top billing when it comes to hip hop, but Harlem is the definition of hip hop because of Alpo, AZ, Paid in Full Story. Everybody wanted to be them and then be hip hop. So what is the legacy or the meaning of being from Harlem, and how do you keep that flag flying?
Like I said, it's more so aura. Like I said, it's a legend that you have to tell. It's a story you have to tell. So it's like, Brooklyn, as far as rap wise, yes, they have. I would say that Brooklyn/Queens has the most successful. But and it's no shot towards them. A lot of them got their style from uptown. Jay-Z was saying it all through his rhymes. AZ, where he got his name from. We're not gonna go there. You know what I'm saying? But it's I'm just happy that people pay homage to Harlem. My mom's is from Brooklyn, so I kind of got the best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? I grew up listening to nothing but Brooklyn hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that.
It's deeper than that though, because hip hop is not just the music. It's not just the dancing. It's not just the way you dress. Hip hop is very spiritual. So when I go to Brooklyn, Brooklyn has so many different spirits because it has so many different sides. Harlem has so many different spirits because Harlem got so many different styles. You know what I'm saying? So then one of my favorite hip hop bars of all time is when Phife Dawg said, if I don't look good, the Queens don't look good. If Queens don't look good, the Quest don't look good. But since I signed as Universal, then New York don't look good. How does it feel to hold the sound and the culture of New York on your shoulders every time you hold a bar or you do a bar? Either one of y'all, go ahead.
Skrilla, you go ahead, man, because he's my GOAT. He knows this. My little bro is the GOAT, man. So go ahead, man. I want you to answer it.
For me, I mean, not for none. I take that as an honor because if you look at the demographic of how people in New York are rapping now, they look at the people like how I would rap, how Benny the Butcher raps. They get those slack because they from a whole different, area of the state of New York. I just don't base it on New York City because, like I said, when I went up north, I did a jail bit. When I went up north, it's people upstate rapping like, you know what I'm saying? So, the state that New York hip hop is in now, I take it as an honor because there's not too many of us still rapping like this. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I wear this with pride. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say where I'm from every chance I get. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to wave that flag. So, that's my answer to it. I take it as an honor.
All right, well, I'm gonna focus on you then. Because I'm gonna have some fun. Notes already know how I get down. I gotta introduce you.
Yeah.
I already know. So
let's throw him through the fire, Karev. Let's do it.
One of my favorite Scrilla Gambino songs is never change. Right?
Interesting.
Now, never change. Never change is one of your direct, indirect flows, though, because you're talking to somebody, but it could go through their ears, out their heads, into the next person's soul. How did you write that?
Right. I'm gonna let you in on a secret. I never told nobody. I write all my songs the same. I hit a beat and I let the beat dictate where I go with it. I don't sit there. I watch people do it where they hear a beat and they just start writing. I will sit with a beat and let the beat dictate where I go with it. So, I heard the beat. I was like, oh, it's a nice, airy, it's like a vibe. And I pictured myself walking down 125th Street, like DMX, how's it going down? I pictured it on that type of vibe, and I went with it. You know what I'm saying? So with that record, I ain't gonna lie, you kind of caught me off guard with that one. There's a lot of people, they be like, oh, yeah, what's your hustle like? And you know what I'm saying? I hear the same song, so it's like it's good to talk about a different song. So with that record, I kind of did it because people was like, you too hard, you don't talk about the ladies. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I think I can't. It was like the way that they was coming off about it, it was like I couldn't do it. So, I just did it to show them like this is what it is. So I really rap. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just get in y'all get in the booth and just do what y'all do. I rap. This is what I do. So
Notes told me to hold you to the fire. So I'm gonna ask you one of my fire questions that Notes absolutely loves. All right.
all right.
There's only 3 languages that we recognize in life: spiritual language, love language, and music.
All right.
If you had to add another language, it would of course it'd be math, but music is mathematical.
Absolutely.
So translate music and the voice that you hear whenever you hear a sound.
And so pretty much if I had to add another language, what would it be?
No. I want to know what's the language
what do I hear?
Talks to you. What language is that? How do you translate that?
I mean, technically it would be mathematics to me. Like that would be it. I was born my father was 5%er, so when people talk, sometimes when I hear words, I think numbers. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the way my brain functions. And so it would be mathematics, hands down.
So then what is the equation that have helped you formulate Devil May Cry in that whole project?
Death. Death. I experienced that a lot. So a lot of people be like, oh, gangsters ain't supposed to cry. Street people not supposed to cry. Shit, it was a point in time I wasn't even able to cry in my household. So that was just me releasing a lot of what I was feeling at the time. And, it's funny, God bless his soul. My man Jason Bourne was there for, I want to say about 85% of that project.
Man.
Like in the studio. When I recorded it. You know what I'm saying? He was actually, I think that his favorite song on there was My Life.
That song's a classic, by the way.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I recorded, thank you, I appreciate that. When I recorded, I could hear because it was a variable in that first verse that nobody never heard me talk about. I don't really talk about my father like that in my music. So the first time he heard it, he was like, yo, bro, I know your story. So to hear it on wax, it was just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that pretty much was derived from. Like, a lot of death, pain, agony, struggle. That's what that was. And I feel like the people can hear it in the way that I'm, projecting it on them records. So that's what that was the goal for me. Yeah. That was the goal for me.
Notes, let me ask you this question. One of the hardest things for a collaboration to happen is for an MC to meet another one that pushes his pen to be great. How does Scrilla Gambino push you to become an even better MC than the award-nominated MC that you are today?
Oh man, I just think this is what I like. I like to give my flowers to my little bro, man. But I've only known Skrilla for probably about 6 months. to about 7 months. We met at a Lawyers and Labels event, and we were connected through Jason Bourne. And I just, from hearing this young brother, just from the first time I heard him rap, it just inspired me more. So for me, Scrilla will tell you this, I'm not a person that's afraid of getting on tracks with anybody because it's hip hop. So at the end of the day, I'm like this. At the end of the day, if we both can make history together, why not do it? If one verse is better than the other, we're still at the same goal. We're still on the same song, and we're trying to give the people real hip hop music. So he inspires me a lot. He really does, man. He knows I love him, man. I really do. I love my bro. You know, and sometimes I'm not around, and he knows this, but I always tell him, you're the GOAT. So when I call you the GOAT, and I'm a critic when it comes to calling, giving people these acronyms and stuff like that, he just inspires me so much. He's been through so much, and to see that pain that he unleashes on music sometimes, it kind of gives me a tear to my eye sometimes, because I don't want him to go through all that pain that he's going through. But you know what? It's making him a better person, a better man, a better MC. So I always give their people flowers when they're here, man. I never give it to them when they go. You know what I'm saying? So Scrilla, you inspire me, bro. You really do. And you still inspiring me. You know what I mean? So you just got to keep going, and you just got to keep knowing that you are the best that's out right now. And ain't nobody touching that. Nobody.
What does that mean to you as an MC?
That means the world, man. Point in time when I remember.
We cutting up.
So people wouldn't listen. I'm good.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I'm good. All right.
Yeah.
There was a point in time people wasn't listening. Like, I didn't have family members tell me, yo, you don't make music for the clubs. And I'm like, music for the clubs? Name one record DMX made for the clubs, which I was in there vibing to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it bugged me out. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not changing my style for nobody. Because if I change for y'all, then that's not me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? My goal is to give you the best version of me on every project that I drop, every feature I do, every song that I do. Me. You know what I'm saying? I can't give you nobody else but me. Unless I'm writing for somebody, yeah, I can give you the best version of them through my words. They just gonna say it, but I'm not changing my style for nobody. You know what I'm saying? So
I like how you said that, because that's being original. And when people are not original, that takes away from what makes them great.
Mm-hmm.
And greatness is defined by not only being yourself, it's the test of time. Hey, Notes, what is the hardest time you had being an MC? And then how did you conquer it? And Scrilla, I want you to answer that after he's done.
For me, it was just I would say reflections. I don't think I got the respect that I truly deserved. And a lot of people, I think, counted me out. And then I said, with the next couple of projects that I put out, I wanted to show people that I really move with this hip hop thing. So that started off with the Timeless, where I gave people the boom bap sound, and then we'll watch the view, and that was the bounce back. That was the bounce back there, correct? Watch the view was the bounce back, and I was waiting for you to fall. And I'm like, I love hip hop. I'm in love with hip hop, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm so in love with hip hop. My wife might get a little jealous sometimes. You understand what I'm saying? Because hip hop changed my life, man. Music is religion to me, man. It's like the Bible. You understand what I'm saying? So to answer your question, I think after reflections, people didn't really give me my just due, but then I said I wanted to create something that would be timeless, that would live on forever. And that's what Watch the View is.
For me, that's a tough one, because I would either say pre-cracks in the concrete and now. So I had two different moments. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go with pre-cracks in the concrete. So we talking about 2015. Like I was just going through a lot, personally, music. At pre-cracks in the concrete, I didn't write nothing for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And what happened was we going into all right. So we get to 2016. I'm sitting in a call with my older brother, and he's like, "Yo, we listening to Dave East," and he like, "Yeah, yo, you rock with Dave East?" I'm like, "Yeah." He like, "Yeah, not for none. Yeah, Dave East will smoke you on a record. You ain't got it no more." And that comment just caught me off guard. Like, wait, what? What you talk? And I came up with the whole project right then and there. I didn't write nothing for 2 years. Once he said that comment, it was off to the races. And to this day, that mixtape right there, I didn't drop 2 projects after that, and I'm working on part 2, and people still cracks in the concrete, it gets me to the point where I'm like, I gotta hurry up and drop 2 so you have to shut up about 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, it drives me crazy, but I'm happy that people are actually listening. The first Cracks in the Concrete is about to be 4 years old. You know what I'm saying? So
that's what makes it stellar, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing that makes the project have longevity, is because you put your soul into that project. Let me go to both of you with this question.
Okay.
The most creative thing God gave you is your soul, because when you share it with the world, not only are you sharing what he gave you, you're sharing a piece of your inner self so everybody can critique it.
Right.
What is it like to share your soul and have people fight for your attention because they accept your soul, not just your creativity?
That's a tough question. That's a tough one. Yeah, Notes, you can go first on that one. I got to think.
You say how? So, Karev, just one more time. Say that one more time for me.
Like when you create from your soul, you're sharing your vulnerability. And people, you know, they get nervous about that. But when you share your soul, what is it like for you as an artist to share your soul, to have people fight to want to know more about you and your soul due to how great you did your project and showed your creativity from it?
Because it's like a journey, man. I think for people feel that way, and if the people that feel that way and they really are messing with your music, I really feel like you're taking them on a journey, and they feel like they're coming along on the journey with you. So, I kind of like that, man. I kind of like that. And that's that's how I am anyway as a person. I want people to understand that this is the person that I am, and I'm not going to change it for that. So I think it means a lot. It really does. It means a lot.
For me, I actually like sharing, you know, being vulnerable on music, because I'm vulnerable in real life. So it's just me being me times 10 on music, because I snap jokes. That's the one part that people don't get on my music, is that I'm really a hilarious cat. I really snap jokes all day, so they think that when they hear my music, they think that I'm some serious dude and this, that, and the third. But when they get around me, it's like you see the different layers. You see different variations of who I am. So I like it. It's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like being able to express myself and people be accepting of it. So I think that it's dope. I think more people should be in tune with that, instead of, you know, like if you hear people rap nowadays, you hear popping perks and I pop bottles in the club, bro. You are not that happy all the time when you doing all that. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're not.
People be in the club popping, but you're not popping 30. You're not drinking 30 bottles of liquor in there. So who you fronting for? Yeah, you'll buy 30 bottles, but what you just did that for? You know what I'm saying? Like, be real with yourself and be real with the people. So I think it's dope. You know what I'm saying? That people are actually gravitating, that people gravitate towards that. So I think that it's dope.
I like that answer. That answer is very key, because then I'm gonna take it to both of y'all boroughs one more time. I'm gonna take it to both of your lands then. And talk real distinctive. When I go to Brooklyn, Fulton Street Mall was my spot. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be square.
Yeah, when I went to Brooklyn, Clinton Hill Brown Memorial Church. That was Brooklyn for me. Israelite churches in Brooklyn signify Brooklyn for me. When I went to Harlem, the Schomburg is like the Mecca of Black thought for me, and it's right in the middle. Well, it's a hospital over there. and then you got the projects right behind the hospital. So it's like you get hit with every scene of the people there, whether you getting a tattoo, you getting a sandwich, chopped cheese or something, or you going to get some books and you want to learn about history. What is the place that you go to that really takes your soul and creativity to the next level physically?
You talking about in our borough?
Yeah, in your life, period.
Yeah, Scrilla.
My block, 150th through 155th Street at Edgecombe Avenue. That's me. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
That's me. That's when you come over there, like I said, I could bring anybody over there. When you step foot on that block, you're gonna see why I am the way that I am. Because that was my upbringing. That block tells a story. I'm 5 years old. I seen America's Most Wanted cameras outside. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen, people get killed. I seen all of that. 5 blocks long, no intersections, no nothing. It's from 155th, 150th, no matter which way you cut it, it's just one strip. So picture the drama of one block times 5.
Yep.
That's what you got. So it's like,
and that's just a block. For me, I would say East New York, but I'm gonna say my building number. That's one thing that sticks out to me. It's 640 Stanley Avenue, man. That'll never get old. In apartment 7E. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I wasn't a street dude, but not being a street dude, I learned a lot about the streets. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say East New York. I wouldn't say my building. I'm gonna say East New York. East New York is like what Scrilla said, like his block. East New York is what I am. That's who I am. That's what inspires me. You know what I'm saying? So really, that's it. East New York, man. For real.
I like that. All right, so check this out. In the game right now, people are celebrating Busta Rhymes, right? The ELE2 album is making a lot of waves, right?
Yeah.
That's because Busta Rhymes took his time to create a project that really reflected not only his skill. It didn't only reflect his skill. It gave us his soul and his creativity. Now, Notes, you've released a stellar project that's like award nominated. It's Scrilla. I don't think your best work has come yet because there's still some things that you're fighting inside your soul, and it comes out in your music. So, what do you think will be the best project you have inside of you that you haven't expressed, both of y'all?
Scrilla, you go ahead, because look, he don't know what's coming, buddy.
Oh, Cracks too. Cracks like coffee too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like, not for none, like, when people fail to realize this, I lost Jason Bourne March. I just lost my sister last Wednesday. So, I'm still constantly going through things and going through changes and stuff like that. Like, Cracks in the Concrete 2 technically dates back to when I lost my friend Country in 2018. That's why it's a double album. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking you through a journey from 2018 to now. And I'm like, not for nothing, now I got to go back to the drawing board because the engineer lost all my work. So,
no, bro.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Yeah.
So. All right. So a real artist not only creates, a real artist can recreate.
That's why I'm not even. Yeah. The thing about artistry, that's the best thing about artistry. You're always able to go back to the easel. You know, so, I have the songs, but it's like, I can't, mix and master, stuff like that. I got to go back to the drawing board. So, I'm not even tripping about it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I still got more of my story to tell. So, that's the beautiful thing about it. So that Cracks 2 would be my best album, I would say, that hasn't shown, that hasn't come out yet. So that answers the question.
All right, Notes, what about you? What's up?
For me, I would say Watch the View. But I'm gonna drop it here. Life Beyond the Lights, which is gonna be my next project, which I'm putting out 2 years from now. That's gonna be my best body of work. That's gonna be my best body of work. And just the title alone, Life Beyond the Lights. I'm just gonna be honest. It's winding down time for me to not stay for music, but to start doing other endeavors in hip hop. You heard it here, man. That might be my last project. Time will only tell. But Life's Beyond the Life is gonna be my best work.
Okay. I got 2 more questions for y'all, and then we're gonna go into the Notes' favorite part of the interview, the rapid fire questions.
Yep.
but one of my questions that's important to especially Scrilla Gambino is this. When somebody appreciates your work and they hold you to a high esteem, as an artist, you always honor that person, yet you still fish for more people to listen to your music. How do you balance your music in the creation of your sound so that not only you honor the people who listen to you, but you invite more people to listen to you as well?
Say that question for me one more time.
I said, as an artist, you always create music for the people who appreciate you. Those are the people who already follow you. And you have to have a delicate balance of not only making music for them, but to also have music to invite new listeners. You're introducing yourself to new people all the time. How do you control that balance to make sure you're always bringing new listeners in while honoring the people who know you and love your sound now?
By being original. Being original. That's the only way I could state it. Because when you be yourself, not for nothing, you don't have to change. So when you bringing in new people, you stay true to yourself. And the people that know you, they're gonna accept it because you're being yourself. So that's the being me.
But wait, now I gotta ask you a question. Hip hop is about peace, love, unity, and having fun. But in today's hip hop, death is the only God that hip hop respects. So how do we be original and fight death by putting life into our music? How do you do that?
Well, one, you can't fight. To me, in my mind, you can't fight death. Death is inevitable. So, not for nothing, the only way to combat that, I don't even want to say fight or combat, but the only way to get around that is to live life to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to live in order to die. So, why not live to the fullest extent? That's the best way I can put it. You just live. And live to the best of your ability. And when you do that, the music that you produce is going to be 10 times better because you're having fun with it. Once rap feels like a job, you're not going to have no fun with it. It's not going to be fun anymore. You get what I'm saying? It's no longer fun because it's a job. It's a hobby. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it's fun to you, you come up with anything. So I say live life.
Notes, you feel the same way?
Definitely feel the same way. My bad, I got the mask when I'm at work.
It's all good. It's all good. So then if we're talking about life and we're talking about giving people the best, this is my final question from both of y'all. Y'all are featured on the Heritage Hip Hop playlist with a new single out called Different Level. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Different Level has a car in the front of it that has different colors on it, which are the spectrums of life. What is the different level that you're taking them to, and how do you want them to feel when the experience is over?
For me, the different level I'm taking them to. All right. Out there. On the couch. The different level I'm taking them to is that just threw me off. The different level I'm taking them to is, I wouldn't even say a different level. I'm just uplifting what's already been, that foundation that's already been set. I'm just uplifting the standard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm showing them a different level of a wordsmith, a storyteller. 'Cause that's what I would perceive myself as, a storyteller. Every song tells a story. So that's what I would say.
What about you, Notes?
Whatever you put in there.
We lost
I
Notes.
think Notes love.
All right. So then, everybody out there listening to or watching this is Heritage Hip Hop with Notes82 and Scrilla Gambino, a new name on the platform that I want you to get very familiar with and check out his projects that's on every streaming platform, which is one of my favorite ones, Devil May Cry. He has Cracks in the Concrete, and he has a new single out called Gangster. You want to talk about Gangster before we close this up?
Gangster was a record inspired. It was more so inspired by the beat that was given to me. Like, it was gritty, raw, rugged. It was just something that hip hop was missing.
Okay.
That was just my thing. It was just something hip hop was missing, and that's what I gave him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just filling in the voids and trying to, find a place in hip hop. So that's what that was. You know what I'm saying? And I'm seeing that it's well received. Everybody that has come across the record has liked it or loved it. So, I'm just doing my job.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
So with that being said, everybody, we want please give everybody your social media so they can follow you.
Facebook, Scrilla Gambino, Instagram, Scrilla Gambino 100_. I don't have a Twitter yet. The sweater I'm wearing is my brain. I actually have a clothing line, Chose Creating Happiness Over Stress. I just got that up and running. Yeah, so that's the social media.
Hey, my bad, y'all, man. I got caught my freaking Wi-Fi at my job, man.
It's all right, man. It's all right. Hey, Notes, give everybody your social media so they can follow you too.
You said get my social media?
Yeah.
All right. You can follow me on Facebook. You can follow me at Notes82. You got to spell it out, NOTESEIGHTYTWO. On Instagram, you can find me at Notes82_. And on Twitter, you can find me at NotesView33.
All right. So now it's time for the rapid fire questions, everybody. Scrilla, I just followed you. So we keep our word with Heritage Hip Hop. Notes know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My favorite time of the interview.
So everybody out there, Herod, before we go into the final part of the interview, we have a disclaimer. If you like what you heard this interview, and if you're one of the people who have not checked out Watch the View or Cracks in the Concrete, please go stream the music. But if you like it, enjoy it, or love it, we ask you to purchase the music, because if you don't purchase your music, you're not really showing into the artist that made the music. You know what I'm saying? And furthermore, say Trump is the president, anything can happen. Say Godzilla came to your town, you know what I'm saying? And the internet dropped. If you don't purchase your music, you don't own your music. So if you're waiting for your phone to power up and have internet to listen to your phone, to listen to your music, you're not really helping the artist. So please purchase the music. I'll purchase Watch the View. I'm purchasing Scrilla Gambino today. I wanted him to know that before, I don't just blindly do stuff. I wanted him to know that we're going to support him, and there's an open door to Heritage Hip Hop. So you don't have to be hot or industry hot to be on the platform. As long as you have a story and it's something you want to share, you can ask my brother right here. We open our doors to everybody, because hip hop is spiritual and it's not about being hot. We don't penis ride over here. We really support the art. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
All right, so everybody, this is time for the rapid fire questions. Now I have a question, because Notes has done this twice already. I want to ask a question. Do you want to do this with him, or should I do y'all question wise separately?
Man, throw my little brother in the fire. Let him go ahead.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh, you want him to have all the questions? That's what you want?
Yeah. Don't throw him in the fire. He got it. He the GOAT. He got it. So
all right, Scrilla, you ready?
I'm ready.
What song or album perfectly describes you?
From anybody?
From somebody else, not your own catalog. Yes.
Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z.
Why?
It's unstructured but structured. That's the story of my life. So he didn't know how to structure his bars, but it came together so perfectly. So that's me. You know?
When listening to Scrilla Gambino's music, I get the term diplomatic chaos. What does that mean to you?
Diplomatic chaos means a political clusterfuck, pardon my language.
Are you good?
Yeah, political clusterfuck. You know, it's the best way to put it. It's the political clusterfuck.
So let me put it to you this way. Diplomatic means that you could walk in any realm of life and be comfortable because you walk with authority.
Facts.
Chaos means the gift of going crazy yet being sustained.
Oh, that's me all the way.
So I'm correct. You're diplomatic chaos.
All the way. All the way. My brother Notes to tell you that. Like, I'm telling you, when you come around me, you'll see. Or like if you just have conversations with me, it sound like I'm off the wall with it, and I say something like the when it goes over your head, I'll explain it to you. Be like, well, I'll be damned. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I do that every day. So yeah, that's me.
All right. So my next question to you is this. Hey, Note, should I take them to the? So how does I do this, Note? So can I keep it hip hop, or should I just go around with it? What you think?
Go around with it.
Oh man, go ahead.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. When I listen to Scrilla Gambino's music, he's painting the scene of a movie. What movie describes your style? Hip hop related movie though, not just anything regular. What describes your style? And let's see if we have the same opinion of you.
You said hip hop related movie?
Yes.
Belly.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Belly. We talking hip hop related movie? Yeah, I could go there. Yeah.
When I think of you and your rhyme style, I don't think of Belly. I think of Creed. Let me tell you why. Do you remember the time in Creed 1 where Adonis Creed took the punch and fell, and then he got back up, and then the fight was his? I get that from your style. Because life is hitting you left and right, but you're giving life back what it gave you. And the people who relate, you're turning their ears into not only fanfare, but you're turning their ears into believers. You agree?
Absolutely. That is a perfect analogy, actually. I appreciate that. That's a perfect analogy, hands down.
Okay, so then let's take that analogy and put it towards the greats. You listen to a lot of hip hop, like that's your thing. That's who you are. What's the best remix of all time?
Best remix of all time?
Hip hop.
Hip hop wise, I would either say Flavor in Your Ear.
Okay.
Or damn, this is a good one.
It gets better.
I would say I'm gonna go with for me, Flavor in Your Ear.
So Flavor in Your Ear, if everybody doesn't know about remixes, is a song where they added more people to the beat and not changed it, and it gave the song longer life. It had features on it. And the feature is the person who is not the main artist on the song. So Scrilla, I want to ask you, in hip hop history, who has the best guest 16 or feature ever? Which means that the guest artist stole the song from the original artist.
Yo, I think I know what he's gonna say, but I'm gonna wait.
But it's best like on a feature.
They stole the song from the main artist. Yes.
The what?
Yeah, the what? It's the what?
Meth stole the song from Biggie.
Yeah.
Stole
yes, he
did.
did.
Not for none. Biggie They have
Biggie went in.
Biggie on record. They have Biggie on record saying that he actually fought for his life on that record. So I'm gonna say the what?
So
Hands down.
so
It was either that.
I knew you was going to say that.
It was either the what for me
uh-huh.
or Biggie on Can't Stop the Rain.
Yeah, that's a classic. Yeah.
Because that second verse,
Allowed to a lemon, my
Yo.
DC women. Yeah.
that verse still gives me the like chills. It makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand. Like that verse is, yeah. So it's
All right.
either.
So listen. Since you said that, let's up the question another notch. You have the ability to make your perfect song. Who's the feature, if there is any, and who's doing the beat?
I like that question.
No ID on the beat.
Ooh, gritty.
Beanie C. Does it have to have? Is it one person or it doesn't matter?
Dead or alive, no restrictions. It's your song.
Raekwon, Beanie Siegel, Meth, Biggie, and Hove.
That would be pretty interesting. That's all of y'all together, and y'all fight. Are y'all fighting for best verse, or you already going to say that's just my song?
Oh, not for no. We fighting for best verse, man. Not for none. Like I said, when I don't duck smoke, so I want to. You talk like you want to. You. If I'm amongst the goats, I gotta prove why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like you got these people running around here talking about I'm the king of this and I'm the GOAT. And all right, who did you go through? Like who did you rap with to claim that? I'm not understanding. Who did you go through for that? You know what I'm saying? So that's how I view it.
All right. Since Notes wants me to have some fun, I'm gonna ask you a real deep question that I want you to really answer with your soul. All right.
All right.
7 is the most powerful number in our language.
Absolutely.
Because it's the completion of the Most High, the completion of man, and the completion of creation that gave us life within itself.
Absolutely.
What's the perfect alignment of numbers that defines you?
Perfect alignment of numbers. 3.
And explain.
For the most part, 1 death comes in 3s. So like when something happens the second time, I see it already. It's already foreseen. When same thing happens twice for me, back to back in a quick succession, I see it the third time. So it gives me the ample amount. It gives me an opportunity to brace myself for the worst. You know what I'm saying? 3 is actually one of my number 1 favorite number. So I like to. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much base everything I do around that. Like cracks in the concrete is probably gonna stop at 3 for the most part. You know, I like trilogies, stuff like that. So yeah, that's what that. Yeah.
Now the deepest thing about what you said is man is combined with or composed of body, mind, spirit, or you could say life is composed of the soul and the spirit. So 3 is a very spiritual number. But the overall goal when it comes to religion or God is knowledge itself. Because as it is written, it says that the kingdom of heaven is within, that's self. The greatest of prophets were those who could go to their cells and speak to God from within. When you got knowledge of self, how did that make your pen better than being a rapper that talks about himself?
When I got my knowledge itself, I actually was sitting, doing my bid. So it's like you have nothing but yourself. Yeah, you could talk to other people, but you're stuck with yourself. And I was up there from 16 to 21. I went up north at 17, but I was locked up from 16 to 21. So that's my prime years. I'm supposed to be graduating high school. I'm supposed to be getting my first job, experiencing certain things. And I'm sitting in a jail. I'm sitting in jail. And I watched a lot of my peers waste away in there. They let the time do them. I didn't let the time do them. I did the time. So, I learned certain things about myself. They say bipolar, I'm diagnosed bipolar manic depressive. I learned how to channel that energy into doing other things by staying active. I don't let that, define me. Oh, oh, he's bipolar, he's crazy, he's this. Nah, not for nothing. I channel that into my. That's where I could go to I use that for my writing. I could go to a dark place and come out with the most catastrophic verse you probably would hear from a person my age at that. I'm only 30. I just turned 31 last Sunday.
Salute.
You know what I'm saying? So, I could talk about certain things and I could construct certain words and make it into a sentence, and people be like, yo, how did you just do that? Notes, watch me do it with the Concrete Oppression song I put out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just certain things, I could go to a dark place in my mind. So, knowledge yourself and let you know your limitations on how far you could go. So that's the dope thing about having knowledge yourself.
Notes and Scrilla, this question is for both of you. I'll let Notes answer first, and then Scrilla, you follow up behind it, all right? What's the most impactful crew in hip-hop history, and why?
Ooh, the most impactful crew. Okay. I'm gonna say, for me, this is just for me.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna say Tribe Called Quest.
How and why?
For me, it's just okay. So people would say, "Oh, because they changed the culture and stuff like that." I just think for me, trying to put it. He said, "How?" That's that style that they had. Like you still can hear it in people's music to this day. Like people like Kendrick Lamar, people like J. Cole. They inspired so many new and up and coming rappers. Like us, yes, when we was coming up and I was young, I was 10, 12 or 13 years old. But then you talk about the younger people that came after me. You know what I'm saying? Like the late 80s, early 90s. You understand what I'm saying? 89, 90, 91, those people that were born in those times, they're still inspired by Tribe Called Quest to this day. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like they're the most impactful crew in history.
All right. Scrilla?
Wu-Tang.
Why?
Because if you look at, they showed you how to construct a classic album with different styles, multiple people, because it wasn't just them. You had the Killer Bees, you had a whole bunch of different dynamics with that. And they showed you how to mesh that all together into one project when they did come together. And then branched off and did their own solo. You have Raekwon with the Purple Tape, classic. Method Man, Tikal, won a Grammy with the joint with Mary J. Blige. Ghostface, Iron Man, ETC, Old Dirty Bastard, Liquid Swords, you know what I'm saying? Bobby Digital, you know what I'm saying? And the list keeps going. And then it didn't just stop with hip-hop. It went to music. It went from music, movies, and different stuff like that, clothing. So it just branched out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go with the Wu.
All right. We got two more questions besides the final question. And this is for both of y'all again. When I think of hip-hop, I think about the people who are underappreciated. Like, if I think about a Brooklyn MC that's very underappreciated, I think about Brother J from X-Clan, one of the nastiest MCs ever, and you barely hear about him. When I think of Harlem, the people who's very underestimated, I think people don't talk about, is Mob Style. Because Mob Style, you laughing because you know about that Mob Style. Yeah.
That's my hood. Like, it's the Lou, that's my man.
Yeah,
that's
so
Big Bro.
Well, you could tell him if you see him, salute, because Heritage Hip Hop salutes Mob Style. I would love to talk to all of them. And plus, he's well known in the bricks. They got love out in the bricks, New Jersey. So when I think about people who's underappreciated, I think about Mob Style, because the famous incident with NWA at the Apollo is hood history, and that's what hip hop is all about, making a statement. So I I asked Notes82 and I asked Scrilla Gambino, what underappreciated MC helped change your life and made you a better MC?
Scrilla, go ahead first.
Fred the Godson.
How so?
He taught me less is more.
Mm.
Like, you know how certain lyricists, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, take a Kendrick Lamar, for example. He has one of them patterns where he'll take, he uses internal wordplay.
Right.
Where he'll take a word and flip it numerous times. A lot of the times to make a person hear what you're saying, you don't have to do that all the time. You could say something so plain. You know what I'm saying? Like, I took something like, my sister used to watch The Proud Family when I was younger, right? Mm-hmm. And it was a character on there called Wizard Kelly. So I took that. I was writing a song called Different Niggas. And I said, y'all ripping off rappers like brand new shit. It's funny how my old verses sounded like that new shit. That was a double entendre within itself. And I explained the double entendre within itself. Y'all watching my moves, y'all on that jelly shit, man. We never see eye to eye. That's Wizard Kelly shit. How you gonna see eye to eye with somebody you never seen before? You can't even see his face. So how you gonna see eye to eye with that? Less is more. It's something simple. Sometimes you don't have to explain a line. You know what I'm saying? And he taught me that by the way that he rapped on my favorite mixtape. One of my top 5 favorite mixtapes is City of God from Fred the Godson. And the way he's rapping on that is so simple, but a lot of the stuff is flying over your head, and you got to go back and listen to it. You got to go back and listen to it, and you're unearthing a lot. And he's saying the most simplest shit. So he taught me less is more. So, yeah. R.I.P. Fred the Godson. He made me change my whole rap style.
Word.
Notes, how about you?
I'm gonna take it to where I'm from, East New York. I'm gonna go AZ.
How?
I think he doesn't get the praise that some of these greats actually get. To me, it seems like when Nas came out, I want to tell people Nas wouldn't be, and I think he was destined for greatness, but Nas wouldn't be the person he was without AZ actually being beside him in the earlier years. That's how I feel. So I think AZ doesn't get that just due. When you talk about these lists of top 20 and top 50, nobody ever mentions AZ's name. And he's been doing it for so long, and he's actually still doing it now till this day. So I think he's really underappreciated by the culture. That's that. And I'm just gonna go simple with it. I just think he's not mentioned enough in hip hop history. That's how I feel.
Okay. So second to last question. If you had to define hip hop in 5 albums, what are those albums?
You got to have me.
Yeah. Welcome back, Notes.
Yeah, thank you for this question.
Illmatic. Life After Death. Blueprint.
Okay.
Paid in Full. And Great Adventures of Slick Rick. And if I had a 6-man,
wow.
If I had a 6-man, it'd be Kool G Rap first album.
Road to the Riches.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Notes, your turn.
Midnight Marauders. Life After. Illmatic. College Dropout.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you another one. Hold on.
That's only 4, so you good.
And man, there's so many I like. I said College Dropout already, right?
Yes, you did.
I'm gonna go Reasonable Doubt.
That's the last
and then
one?
I'm gonna give you a 6-man like he did.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. It's gonna be crazy that I say this. Philadelphia Freeway.
Okay, why? That is interesting.
Because that album low key is a classic, and people don't give it the praise that it usually get. I think because Cassidy bust his ass in that
That freestyle?
damn battle that they had before it dropped.
Yeah.
A lot of people felt like, yeah, Free gonna probably fall off. But to be honest with you, I think they dropped that same year, if I'm not mistaken. Did they drop
Was
the
that
same year?
2000
The first album that Cassidy put out was trash, and Free was 2000 album, 2000.
I think it was like 2002, 2003.
This correct for he got us looking back at stuff. This is fault.
It's
That
like
album
2002,
dropped- hold on,
2003.
I'm about to look right now, Skrilla. I got you. It
about
dropped.
2003.
Yeah, 2003. You're right.
Yeah.
2003. Yep.
Yeah. I was kicking up dirt in junior high school with my state property gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, right? Yeah.
Word.
Yeah. Kicking
All right.
a lot of ass and taking names to that shit.
All right.
You know.
All right. Hey, Skrilla, I hope to meet you in Harlem one day, bro.
Not for nothing.
I go to the Schomburg pretty often. I hope to meet you. Like I want to meet Notes. Like I said, one thing about Heritage Hip Hop, and I want to tell you this, man and man. I want you to look at the camera when I tell you this. I want you to see me. I'm very proud of you, because as a man, no matter what, especially as a man of color in this country, no matter what you've been through, you still are alive and you're able to inspire people with your voice and your talent. And not only that, you have a family. So you're somebody's brother, son, uncle, whatever you are, you have meaning and purpose. Now, in hip hop, people always celebrate the death of black men or men of color. I want to celebrate the life. So as a man, I'm gonna tell you, I'm proud of you. No matter what happens in this life, I pray that it's always positive for you and you grow and you build and you become a successful empire as a man. So I just wanted to let you know, like, me and hip, like I said, and pardon the language everybody's riding, I'm watching, Heritage Hip Hop is not about dick riding, and we're not about being the people who just always gives praise on people, especially when they put out trash. Scrilla Gambino is an MC that I respect, and as a man, I respect you even more. So please, for me, stay alive, stay positive, and do your best, because only God can give you what you deserve. And I pray that you get the best you deserve. Same to you, Notes82. All right?
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate that, man.
All right. So the final question of this interview is to Scrilla Gambino. Notes, you've already done this, so you could let him take the driver's seat. Scrilla,
Definitely.
500 years from now, when they look in the Harlem Hall of Fame and they see you next to Dapper Dan, right? They're gonna have a story that tells of who you are, how you succeeded, how you inspired. So my question to you is, what is the legacy that you leave on the world that made the world better because you created music and you did your music thing and more?
I would say the legacy I would leave is more than music. A lot of people think it's just rap. I sell nachos. I make nachos out my kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Like loaded nachos. I do stuff that people wouldn't think to do. You know what I'm saying? I got my own clothing line. You know, I make, I'm actually wearing it now, if you can see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just do, I try to build off of, I try to do different things outside of just put my eggs in one basket. Like, so it's just more than music. It's more than being a rapper. It's more than I'm not just a rapper, I'm an artist. You know what I'm saying? So it's more than, it's more to it than that. So that would be my legacy.
Being more than the music. Yeah, I appreciate that, because that's what we teach at Heritage Hip Hop, that hip hop is nothing but a door, and everybody's fighting to turn the knob but not walking through the door to see their bigger purpose and the bigger part of what their life is. So to everybody out there watching this, I want to say thank you for watching Heritage Hip Hop. But before we go, everybody, hopefully you can see our screen. Heritage Hip Hop is also more than music. As you can see, we are more than music on the screen. We have our feature interview with Kurt Nice up right now, and this interview will be there. We have our Heritage Hip Hop podcast that Notes82 has been a part of twice already. And our podcast can be followed on Spotify. It can be followed on Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcast, and also on our YouTube page. We interview international artists and we do industry artists as well. These two young men are part of our celebrity interviews. Stay tuned for that. We premiere artists on our website. If you are a member of our website, not only do you get free music, you get the people that we feature. And here's the 050 Boys, an interesting collective of individuals that make classic music from Newark, New Jersey. All right. We highlight live shows. We have Lords of the Underground and Amaro La Negra. We do Truth Behind Bars, which is people get on mumble rap, but if you really don't have bars, I don't care if you mumbling, singing, or got good pronunciation. If you're not saying nothing, we're not listening. Stay tuned for our Heritage Hip Hop Cypher coming soon. Fatty's Place salutes the women in the industry. We show music videos. We have a feature playlist, Heritage Hip Hop Playlist number 5. And if you go to song number 3, we have Notes82 and Scrilla Gambino, different level, featured on our playlist, which is available to all people who go to heritagehiphop.com right now. We celebrate anime culture and comic book culture as well on our platform. That's Blur Hop. We have galleries, blogs, versus highlights the people in hip hop who are in the community that don't rap. We have a preschool teacher and a model/mortician that talks about the life of people in our community. Once again, become a member, you get the free mixtapes and also the free gifts we afford to our people. If you like clothes, we have clothes. Here's our store, Heritage Hip Hop on Store Frontier. Buy a shirt. Get a tee for your girl, get a tee for yourself, get something for your kids. Hey, wintertime's coming. Long sleeve tees and hoodies are there. Pick whatever design you want. We are there for you and for the community. So for everybody out there that celebrates Heritage Hip Hop and celebrates these young men, these young creative geniuses and leaders of our community, we applaud you as well. So for Notes82, Scrilla Gambino, and me, Karev, we say peace and we out.
Real hip hop.